There is a moment most people never talk about. You leave a conversation, and nothing obvious happened. No shouting, no explosion, no visible wound. But somehow you feel emptied. Your chest feels heavy. Your mind keeps replaying every sentence. You wonder why you explained so much, why you apologized again, why you walked away feeling guilty for pain you did not create. That is where the trap begins. A manipulator does not always need your obedience first. Sometimes they only need your reaction, your anger, your defense, your confusion, your need to prove that you are good. Once they have that, they know where the door is. Machiavelli understood something dark about human behavior. Power often belongs to the person who sees the game clearly, while everyone else is still trying to be understood. This is not about becoming cruel. This is about becoming unavailable to the kind of person who feeds on your nervous system. The rule is simple. Never give a manipulator the emotional food they came to collect. If this already sounds like the hidden exhaustion you have been carrying, like this video, subscribe to the channel and share it with someone who needs to stop mistaking emotional drainage for loyalty. Stay with this, because later you will understand why guilt becomes the last chain they pull when anger no longer works. Rule number 1. The first rule is to stop giving them the reaction they designed you to have. Here is the hard truth most kind people learn too late. Some manipulators are not trying to solve the problem, they are trying to activate you. They say one small thing with a calm face. They twist one memory. They act wounded by the boundary they forced you to build. And suddenly, you are explaining yourself again, defending your heart, proving your intentions, apologizing for a reaction they quietly provoked. You think the goal is understanding, but sometimes the goal is not understanding. Sometimes the goal is access. Access to your anger, access to your guilt, access to that desperate place inside you that still believes, if you say it perfectly enough, they will finally see you clearly. That is the trap. Your reaction tells them where the control points are. Your tears tell them what still hurts. Your long message tells them what you fear losing. Your need to be seen tells them exactly where to press next. This is why the gray rock method matters as a boundary lens. Not because you become lifeless, not because you stop caring, but because you stop performing emotional theater for someone who came to feed on the performance. Short answers, calm tone, less personal information, no dramatic display, no spiritual confession handed to someone who has already proven they will use it as a weapon. Machiavelli would call this realism. Not cruelty, not revenge, clear sight. You are not weak because you reacted before. You were human. You were trying to repair what they were trying to exploit. But the moment you stop feeding the reaction, the game changes. And once the outside becomes quiet, the next battle begins inside your own nervous system. Rule number 2. Your nervous system may confuse peace with danger at first. The strangest part is not the silence. The strangest part is what silence does inside your body. You decide not to react. You decide not to explain. You decide not to feed the argument. But then your chest tightens. Your hands feel restless. Your mind starts writing the perfect message, the perfect defense, the perfect sentence that will finally make them understand. And because the feeling is so intense, you think it means you should respond. But urgency is not always truth. Sometimes urgency is the echo of conditioning. When you have been around manipulation for too long, your nervous system can begin to treat chaos like unfinished business. Peace feels wrong because your body is used to waiting for the next mood shift, the next punishment, the next apology, the next sudden return of affection. This is where hypervigilance can quietly take over. You are not just thinking about the person, you are scanning for danger. That does not mean you are weak. It means your body learned a pattern before your mind knew how to name it. So when you receive the baiting text, Pause. Breathe before answering. Delay the response. Let the first wave pass without obeying it. You do not have to prove your innocence while your nervous system is in panic. This is the hidden discipline. You teach your body that not responding is not death. You teach your mind that peace does not need permission from the person who trained you to fear it. And when panic stops opening the door, the manipulator loses their first entrance into you. Rule number 3. The manipulator studies your explanations more than your words. This is the part that feels innocent at first, but becomes dangerous later. Every long explanation can become a map. You think you are helping them understand you. You think if you speak gently enough, deeply enough, clearly enough, they will finally see your heart and stop hurting it. So, you explain why the comment wounded you. You explain why the silence scared you. You explain why the betrayal changed something inside you. But a manipulative person may not be listening for healing. They may be listening for access. They learn what makes you panic. They learn what makes you apologize. They learn what memory still controls you. They learn what person you are afraid to lose. And later, when they need power again, they reach for the exact place you handed them. This is why vulnerability is sacred. But vulnerability is not meant for everyone. The wrong belief is that openness always creates closeness. The deeper truth is that openness only creates closeness with people who have the character to protect what you reveal. With unsafe people, openness can become ammunition. Robert Greene spoke often about the power of saying less than necessary. In this context, it is not manipulation, it is protection. It is the discipline of not pouring your inner world into hands that keep dropping it, twisting it, or using it against you. You do not owe full access to someone who weaponizes your honesty. The person who benefits from your confusion will not celebrate your clarity. And once you understand that, you stop trying to explain your soul to someone who only wants the manual to your pain. But withholding information is only one layer. The deeper shift begins when you stop needing them to validate your reality. Rule number 4. The moment you stop needing them to understand you, the power shifts. The strongest freedom is not winning the argument. It is no longer needing the argument. This is the moment most manipulators fear, because they can only keep power while you are still trying to make them admit what they did. A toxic family member rewrites the past. An ex changes the story. A boss acts innocent after crossing a line. A friend suddenly becomes the victim of the pain they caused. And there you are, trying to prove reality to someone who benefits from denying it. The wrong belief is that closure must come from the person who wounded you. You think if they finally understand, finally confess, finally say the right words, your nervous system will be released. But sometimes that need for agreement is the leash. George K. Simon wrote about covert aggressive patterns where people can deny responsibility, play injured, and shift blame while still controlling the emotional field. As a lens, it explains why the conversation keeps turning into a courtroom, and somehow you are always the one on trial. Once you stop begging for their agreement, the courtroom collapses. You do not need them to validate what your body already knows. You do not need the person who confused you to become the judge of your clarity. That is not defeat. That is dignity returning. If you are ready to stop making your peace dependent on someone who profits from your confusion, like this video, subscribe to the channel, and share it with someone who still thinks closure has to come from the person who broke the truth. But the next layer goes even deeper, because sometimes they are not even seeing you clearly. They are fighting something inside themselves and placing its shadow on you. Rule number 5. They may be attacking a shadow they placed on you. Sometimes the person in front of you is not actually fighting you. They are fighting something inside themselves, and they have placed your face on it. This is where the pattern becomes darker. You set one boundary, and suddenly you are selfish. You stop over-explaining, and suddenly you are cruel. You refuse to carry their chaos, and suddenly they accuse you of changing, abandoning them, or thinking you are better than everyone else. And because the accusation hurts, part of you wonders if it is true. That is how projection gets inside you. In Jungian psychology, projection is the idea that people can throw disowned parts of themselves onto someone else because facing those parts directly feels too painful. Their selfishness becomes your selfishness. Their control becomes your cruelty. Their hidden shame becomes your responsibility to repair. But here is the deeper layer. You may have projected your own power onto them too. You may have believed they had the authority, confidence, permission, or emotional control that you were not allowed to claim in yourself. So you made them bigger than they were and made yourself smaller than you were. Strategic silence breaks that spell. You are no longer performing innocence for someone determined to misread you. You are no longer becoming harsh just to prove you are strong. You simply stop holding the mirror for a person who keeps swinging at their own reflection. This is spiritual awakening in a grounded form. The old identity that pleased, absorbed, explained, and apologized for existing begins to die. And now, silence becomes more than protection. It becomes the beginning of self-command. Rule number 6. The real victory is becoming too calm to be controlled. The final victory is not making the manipulator suffer. The final victory is becoming unreadable to the part of them that used to control you. This is where your power becomes quiet. You receive the baiting message, and the old version of you wants to write a paragraph. The old version wants to correct every lie, explain every wound, prove every intention, and make the other person see how deeply they crossed the line. But the new version pauses, not because you are afraid, because you are no longer available for emotional extraction. The wrong belief is that power must look loud, dominant, or armored. But real power is often boring to the person who feeds on chaos. Real power answers slower, shares less, explains less, reveals less. It does not rush to bleed in front of someone holding a knife. Stoicism understood this. Marcus Aurelius pointed inward, toward command over the mind, not control over the world. Nietzsche spoke through the lens of self-overcoming. Schopenhauer saw how much suffering comes from being dragged by other people's will. These are not just philosophies, they are mirrors for the same discipline. Pause before replying. Reduce emotional detail. Share less with unsafe people. Document what needs proof. Leave spaces that become dangerous. Seek real support when silence is not enough. And still, stay human. You can be warm with safe people, gentle with honest people, open with those who protect your truth. But to those who feed on turmoil, become calm, brief, and unreachable. Because once the supply disappears, guilt becomes the last chain they pull. Now the conversation that once emptied you should look different. You were not weak because you reacted. You were not foolish because you explained. You were not broken because you stayed too long trying to make someone understand the pain they kept creating. You were feeding a system that survived on your emotional availability. And now you know the rule. Stop giving them the reaction they designed you to have. Calm the nervous system before it obeys panic. Protect your private world from people who study it like a weapon. Release the need for the manipulator to validate your reality. Recognize when someone is attacking a shadow they placed on you. Become too centered to be moved by every bait, accusation, silence, or performance. This does not make you cold. It makes your empathy protected. You can still be soft with safe people. You can still be open with honest people. You can still love deeply without handing your peace to someone who feeds on turmoil. Machiavelli is only the symbol here. The deeper lesson is clear sight. This was never revenge. This was refusing to be useful to your own manipulation. And if you are in a dangerous situation, Silence alone may not be enough. Seek real support. Create distance. Protect your safety. If this helped you see your peace differently, like this video, subscribe to the channel, and share it with someone who is tired of being emotionally fed on. Do not become cruel. Become clear, because the person who cannot be fed cannot be controlled.